By the time that Jeff and I, my husband, came to God, we had really been through a lot already, from a nearly failed marriage to losing our home and everything in it, all of our memories.
We were living out of basically a couple of garbage bags in a hotel for a couple of weeks. There's some serious health issues that, in and out of ERs that nobody could diagnose. Didn't know if we were gonna live to see the end of the year, let alone see our kids grow up. I told my wife, if we get through this, it's time we kind of turn our lives around. We need to find God. And this was the first church that we came to. Pastor Dan was nothing but being real, using his own life experiences and saying, I'm just like you, and it's okay to not be okay. And we definitely were not okay.
When we finally just gave everything up and said, okay, God, we get it, there was just this incredible sense of renewal, and it was amazing.
A couple weeks into the church, there was a baptism class. We all got baptized as a family. We turned our lives around. We were on fire for God. We wanted to, preach the word and just get into the word because of everything we've been through and what he pulled us from.
So one evening, we're spending some time together, he and I, and God just gave us this clear message that it was time, that we were supposed to have another baby. So we ended up a short time later going to the healing prayer here at Pure Heart. One of the women that was working with me, she'd had a scripture come to her earlier in the day, and when she saw me and talked to me, she knew it was mine. When Jeff read it, I thought he was completely nuts. He said, we're having twins.
It was talking about double your inheritance, double your bounty. We got the ultrasound and the doctor's like, you have 2 boys.
When the boys were born, it was amazing.
We were just blessed. We didn't know, what was coming around the corner.
Jeff and I were the happiest that we've ever been. We just had our little family, and we were going to church, and we were spending time together and just on top of the world. And then Logan died. He was perfect and beautiful and innocent and sweet, and he just died.
I went to go wake him up, and Grayson popped up, and Logan didn't call 911. I started CPR. The whole time, I'm screaming to God, please don't take my boy. Please let me save him. I thought we were in hell before, with the medical issues, losing everything. But this was a new level.
So this series is about going from a place of darkness and into a place of hope. And, sometimes I still feel like I'm in the dark. And I think that that's okay. I think that as long as I have faith, that's hope. Because God is the way, and he is the light, and he is the love and the hope. I've always identified with Peter when he's standing on the water, and the water is grief, and I am Peter. And as long as I keep my eye on God, it will not crush me.
Being the first Christmas without him, last year everything was, such a blessing every day. We never took it for granted. And it's just, how do we get through the first one? I thank God for my church family. They helped us so much where we couldn't do it on our own. After a little while, we started seeing a counselor here on campus.
When you're in that place, it's just a void. It's a hurt void. And she was able to kind of help us sort through some of that. We also went to grief camp, and we were able to kind of say goodbye. I really felt like I needed to surround myself with people that were Christians that could just be there. I auditioned for the worship team. We have our prayer time, and it's okay with them to be honest and to be who you are and to cry. It's easy to lose sight of what's important when you're hurting, and community is a big thing. Sometimes you don't want to be around people or talk at all, but having that specifically with a church like Pure Heart, it means everything.
I think God is using us to try to be a beacon of light, hope, to share our story. And I kind of find it funny because everybody's like, you're inspiring, you're this because you're so strong. It's not us. We have nothing to do with this. It's all God. If it wasn't for him, we would be down.
I wonder what God can see that I can't. But we have to have faith that his plan for us is bigger than anything that we can imagine for ourselves.
We found out we're pregnant again. And we're scared. It's a scary thought because it's so close. We don't want to think we're replacing Logan or everything's hunky-dory, because it's not. He's irreplaceable.
Last year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, it was probably the best Christmas I've ever had. Just all of us together and them in their little Christmas onesies. I don't know this year what it will be like. We just have to remember that he's here with us in spirit and that we'll get to see him again.
I know he's at peace. And even when I spoke at the funeral, this was never to say goodbye to him. It was until we meet again. And I believe that. So I think he's looking down at us and he's probably like, Dad, wipe away those tears. I'm happy. And it's not goodbye. It's till we meet again.